And we've got some weather to watch for here.
Yeah, we're going to go pretty heavy nerd on you here at the beginning.
Okay.
So pay attention.
Yeah, so pay attention. Here we go. Now, you can see in the metro area right now, we're starting to develop a few showers out there, a few rain-snow mixes. But for the most part, what we're dealing with here is going to be rain for the next few hours, because we're pretty warm across the board, and a pretty good east wind here is preventing a whole lot of shower activity right in the metro. But that'll fill in for us throughout the night. We're going to get our fair share of rain before we start to see it change over to snow tomorrow morning. And we are looking at quite a bit of moisture continuing to flow up from the south throughout the southwest quadrant of the state. Rain continues to work its way on in here, and across the north, we are seeing snow developing. Now, some of it you're not picking up on the radar, but there is moisture, and there are showers that are beginning to develop along the I-25 corridor, and that's eventually going to mean some pretty good snows over the northern mountains. Now, as we look at the statewide look here at the radar, you'll notice the moisture sitting across the southwest portion of the state. Kind of take that picture in your mind for a second and take a look at what our models are telling us it should have looked like right at this time tonight. Pretty good stuff. The models are doing a pretty good job, at least initially, at giving us an idea where the moisture is across the southwest and some across the northern mountains. That gives us some confidence that as we push throughout tonight and into tomorrow, the models will give us a fair look at what we're dealing with here, and I think they are. Now, at 4:30 a.m. on Thursday, you're going to see Albuquerque a little bit in the battle zone of rain and snow, but throughout the day tomorrow, and especially by about mid-morning, we go over to all snow here in the metro area, all across the north, all across the east. Tucumcari continues to sit on that rain-snow line, but throughout the day tomorrow, we go all snow Tucumcari, and we get it across the east before things start to back off tomorrow night. So that gives you a sketch of what's going to happen here, and essentially we're starting off pretty warm right now at 49 degrees, but those east winds at 23 miles an hour are pushing in some of that cooler air, and it'll take throughout a good portion of tonight to get all that cold air set in place. The cold air's just starting to hit Clayton, and it will continue to work its way in our direction throughout the night tonight. 30s and 40s to the north, down to the south, 40s and some 50s. As far as our actual core of the storm goes, it's still well back to our west, and out in front of it, got a lot of warm air and a lot of moisture, as you can see, pushing its way up. This storm's going to take a pretty good track for us here over the next day or so, and it's got a few things working for it here overall that make it a pretty potent storm. Number one, the low-pressure system that we're dealing with here is pretty strong, and it's actually going to combine with another low and give us a nice moisture flow out of the south. That, combined with a good cold front coming in from the northeast, provide that lift and a lot of moisture for us to get a lot of snow out to the east and maybe even here in the metro area, because fourthly, the track of this storm is pretty good just south of the Albuquerque area and then on out into Texas. So overall, the setup here is pretty good for us to get a few inches of snow in the metro and into the foothills. Maybe 4, 5, 6 inches of snow will be a possibility, but I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 or 3 inches on the valley floor. However, the bust potential on this, a little bit higher, 25%, simply because we have to get enough cold air to generate the snow. If one thing's going to cause a problem for us, it'll be us looking at rain for too long and not getting enough snow. But as far as the real target areas go, Sangre de Cristos, Northeast Highlands, I-40 and I-25 corridors, and down through the Sacramentos. So let's take a look at your snowfall forecast here for each area and what we anticipate. Durango, 5 to 10 inches. Farmington, 3 to 6 out of this. 10 to 18 around Wolf Creek. As far as the southern San Juans go, 6 to 12 Chama, 5 to 10 in Tierra Maria. Sangre de Cristos, east slopes are going to get hit hard. Eagle Nest, Angel Fire, a lot of snow there. The Ski Valley, pretty good as well. 3 to 8 in the town of Taos. Las Vegas, 4 to 10 if we can get those bands of snow oriented right. 3 to 8 in Raton. And as you get into the Albuquerque area, 6 up around the foothills at best. 2 or 3 down in the valley. Santa Fe, 5 to 8. 8 to 16 in Ruidoso, and mixes around Silver City and Deming. Let's go region by region for you and give you those highs as well for tomorrow. In some areas aren't that warm. 30s for the most part across the Northwest Plateau with increasing snow out there, and highs for the most part in the low 30s in Durango, high 30s around the Farmington area. Meanwhile, across the south and west, plenty of rain for tonight. We may get some rain-snow mixes at the higher elevations throughout the day tomorrow, but another swath of moisture just hammering the southwest. They got a ton last week. They get a ton this week. This is going to be the battle zone for the cold air. If we can get enough cold air across Chaves County, we will see some snow even in the Roswell area for tomorrow. If we don't get enough cold air in, it will be a mix that won't amount to a whole lot in and around Roswell. It should amount to quite a bit of snow across northeastern New Mexico throughout the day tomorrow. Watch out places like Raton, Springer, Roy, Capulin, Mora, all going to be looking at accumulating snows throughout the day tomorrow. Northern mountains, big mountain snowstorm, no question about that. We're already getting reports of heavy snow in spots across the Sangre de Cristos. That will continue with temperatures tomorrow in the 20s, and in Santa Fe, of course, 3 to 8 inches of snow will be a possibility from this storm. But as you can see with the 7-day, a drastic improvement by Friday into Saturday. East Mountains, gusty winds right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling that. That'll continue over the next few hours, and then the cooler air pushes in, and the snow begins tomorrow morning, and we'll see the possibility, of course, of high accumulations as you get up into the high Sandias and Manzanos. Meanwhile, 6 or so inches possible even along the I-40 corridor. 34 downtown tomorrow, 35 South Valley, 3 to 6 inches will be possible. Again, I think along the valley floor, 2 to 3 inches, a little more realistic. But if we get up into the foothills, we could do better than that. Albuquerque 7-day forecast. After tomorrow, we break out of it. And actually, we've got a pretty good weekend on the way as well.
That's the best kind of storm. It hits and leaves.
What are you thinking about the chances for the morning?
I think the morning's going to be not so bad, simply because I don't think we're going to have a huge period of time when it will have been below freezing to accumulate a lot of snow. I think we could get some. I wouldn't be surprised if it's snowing tomorrow morning. What's going to be tough is, will the roads be bad? And I think we're going to have a little advantage there. We'll be a little bit warm, so hopefully we'll melt that off. Now, of course, with a storm like this, if we set up those bands throughout the day, the roads could deteriorate very quickly.
All the kids went, oh.
It's going to be close. There's no question. It's flat out going to be close tomorrow morning. So get up. I know the feeling. Just we can hope for the snow day.